All right, we are. It's tier two, and welcome to the live stream. It's me again. You may have heard me last time. Why am I not getting any sound? There you go. I wasn't getting any sound there for a second. Yeah, it's me again. It's ISRL Night. I'm pulling double duties today, and we're gonna bring you the tier two Grand Prix. We just had an exciting one in tier three, to say the least. I got ISRL Estunik here with me in the commentators booth. And we're getting ready for, well, this qualifying to truly get underway.
Yeah, how we doing today, folks? Crazy race in tier 3.
5 safety cars. Full safety car by the midway point. It was raining, and then it wasn't, and then there was gambles and tires and accidents, and all around it finished pretty excitingly with D-Morts and Mivako and Aizen battling basically all the way until the end. Aizen crossing the line first, ultimately losing it on penalties. And D-Mort's picking up his first Tier 3 win. But in Tier 2 now, we've had a couple of new drivers fill in some seats. Some of them you've seen last time. Some of them it's their first time on track for an official event, including this man here, Joran Visser. And Stunik, do you want to take us through these new faces on the grid?
Absolutely. This is we're gonna look at guys like Callis and Dark. It's their second race here. Had great finishes at Mexico. We got End of the World, his Tier 3 driver reserve, but he's making his debut in Tier 2. We got also back from suspension, guys. We got Lorenzo back after serving a 5-race suspension. Happy to have him back. We also got guys like Gordon Visser, who tested well this week, and oh yeah, Formula Matt. I'm not sure if I've seen him in Tier 2, but mistaken as well. But, yeah, we're getting rain in the race too from the chat, so.
Are we okay? So getting some variable conditions at the very least in this Grand Prix, and it's gonna play a big role. It's gonna be interesting to see, is it there right away? Is it there later in the race? Are we gonna see some guys being able to gamble on strategies through it, or is it gonna be kind of a you need inters on here kind of thing? And you can't maybe gamble with the softs, but yeah, right away we're getting some times in the 134s already. Irish Nude Potato taking the provisional pole. Of course, it's very early in qualifying. He's got 12 minutes left to go back in. He's got a couple more laps. Driver's going to be getting about 3 laps over here. Some tracks you can fit in 4 in a short qualifying, but with the 2-minute lap time, you're looking at 6 minutes per attempt, 2 minutes on the out lap, a minute 40 on your hot lap, 2 minutes on the in lap, and then getting into the pits. So if you can just squeeze out 3 laps, that's your best chance you've got. And Michael Fury is saying mid-race rain. Yeah, it's going to be a dry start, I think, and then rain towards the middle, and maybe, is it going to stay? Who knows? It might finish on dries. What are the implications of that on a track like Singapore too?
Yeah, you know, all these guys also got to worry about their setup choice. That middle part of the race is your time to actually push, or you want to just send it out on the softs and get that. Whereas you see at most tracks, track position is key. So starting at the front can keep you at the front when the interchangeable weather comes.
Yeah, in Tier 3 we felt like track position was key, but there's so much variables going on in that race. Of course, safety car coming out multiple times. There's accidents, there's people gambling on tire strategies, and we saw people go from 3rd to 17th back up into the top 5, and vice versa as well. So if we're getting a race, I think with a minimal amount of safety car, a good old regular under green, a hard racing race, then track position is going to play a huge role. And these guys in qualifying are going to be, they're going to want to be on their best behavior, essentially, to and really make sure they don't invalidate their laps, they don't make any mistakes, and that they can get their car as far up the grid as possible right off the bat.
Absolutely. I just saw Mats go into the pit. He had a bail on his lap, had heavy wing damage, completely missing the wing. So he probably had problems out there, and he's already spent those medium tires. And in the race, you only get 1 set of mediums, so you just kind of have to really, considering we're going to have a dry start, and we don't know if the weather is going to change from the rain when it comes back to dry, you got to worry about your tire choices and what you're using, because what you spend cannot use again, unless of course you don't mind running on scrub tires. But this is
Absolutely.
gonna be
Yeah, go ahead.
no, you're good.
Dark on a hot lap right now. He's got the fastest sector 1 in the Racing Point, and his third race in ISRL, second in Tier 2 after he won his first race in Tier 3, and we immediately promoted him into Tier 2 because it was clear that he was going to dominate, and he got strong results right off the bat in Tier 2, and he's looking to replicate that today. Fastest Sector 1 already. Where's he going to be after Sector 2? That's a 103.3, and not the fastest sector time, so falling a little bit behind Irish Newt Potato here.
Coming up on a bunch of traffic as well, the two Haas and the Renault.
Yeah, I do hope they get out of the way. That is the Haas of Synchro and El Biku ahead of him. And luckily for him, yeah, there you go, getting out of the way early. This is not really a place where dirty air is going to affect you too much. It's very low speed, and you're kind of relying on mechanical grip to steer anyways. And around the final corner, where's Dark going to place? P4. So maybe losing a little bit of time there at the end, or maybe just had a really good Sector 1. But cannot convert that purple Sector 1 into a provisional pole or a front row start. He starts on the second row as it stands. 8 minutes left in qualifying, though, so there's going to be a lot of time to set more laps. I believe this is this is not Matt, it's Irish Newt Potato on the way back to the pits. And actually he's on his out lap right now. That's ISRL Chris right behind him. I think ISRL Chris, yeah, definitely lost some time, and Validity is going to dive back into the pits. 139, that's a bit off the pace, and I do want to say, or 138.1, sorry. I do want to say that probably got held up or made a mistake on that one, because it's not usual to see Chris that far off the pole position times.
Absolutely. And crucially, Vito up into third, even though he's almost off, 55-point gap to Gexian currently sits 8th. And other than that, there's no one close to these two at the top of the standings besides Nathan, who's a full 100 points back from the points lead. So a lot of these guys looking to make ground quick. So like Vito is just a model of consistency these past 5 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Always seemingly near the front, maybe not winning, but near the front, and doing wonders for his championship hopes. But I think Yuran, Visser, and Vito right now, their times are just representative of them being out on a green track on the soft tires. This is probably why we're seeing Irish Newt Potato and guys like Dark being, ahead or close to them on the harder tire compound. And Elvikus sets a 139.4. That's not going to be good enough to get into the top 10. Is there anybody else on track right now? There you go. Cruz setting his first laps. Purple Sector 1 for Cruz. I think Irish Newt Potato just has a really bad Sector 1 because we're seeing some purples be set all the time here.
Absolutely. You gotta think. He was on the medium, but...
Absolutely, yeah. Maybe just the tire not being up to race temps just yet. Taking, of course, a little bit longer to Cruz on a good lap, though. We're going to see where he is after the end of Sector 2 here. He's coming up to it soon. And down the straight he goes, open up the DRS. And it's going to be a 103.2, so he's on pace with Dark right now. Dark was on a 103.3 or 103.4 at that point, so slightly faster than Dark's time. We should be able to see Cruz, if he can keep it clean here through the last sector, promote himself into a very respectable qualifying position.
Absolutely. After the results he had at Silverstone, where he absolutely dominated the race here, and it was just an incident with Irish Newt Potato. He's just looking for a positive result.
Around the last corner he's going to go. Keep it pinned there, and that's 131, 135.5. There you go, right ahead of Vito, right ahead of Dark. And just like I said, a little bit more pace than that Racing Point, and he's done good work with it.
What I know too, Lorenzo went 8th fastest. So Lorenzo, not rusty, looking to get back.
Yeah, it was that was a big question coming into the weekend, is how is Lorenzo going to compete on track? He hasn't been here in a long time, getting a suspension for on-track behavior, and it was an extended one. And he's back though. He says I think he's learned from his mistakes. He knows he's not going to do that again, and trying to make a good impression, trying to finally bring some points back to Ferrari. End of the world goes third fastest.
Oh.
Was he already there?
No, that was Cruz. Cruz was
AJ
third.
Wuhan as well goes up to 6th on the mediums.
Looks like Irish New Potato is going to come out on soft, so look for a low 134. As long as he clean up that sector 1, because we saw everybody crushing the sector 1 on the time chart, so...
ISRL Chris in 13th right now. Oh, bit wide there. That's going to validate his lap. He's going to have to back out of that. Slap it into lean mix and go again, I think. Oh, actually, bangs off the wall there. Formula Matt has just started his hot lap as well. He's going to be coming up on Chris shortly, actually, as he's going down the main straightaway here. And yeah, for between that turns 5, 6, 7, there is a turn in the middle of that straightaway. Turn 6. Of course, you don't really have to do much. You can kind of carry almost straight through it, and but it does count. And yeah, into turn 10, 11, 12. This is the site of the old infamous Singapore sling chicane, and onto the Anderson Bridge into turn 13. Got to keep it tight. He's going to go deep there. That's going to cost him a lot of time. And where's he going to be at the end of this straightaway? He's going to be down on quite a few of these guys. He's over a second down on guys like Cruz and Vito and Dark. So we're looking at maybe a 10th or 11th place qualifying position here for Formula Matt if you can keep it together in the third sector. And under this, I guess it's kind of a tunnel here. It's just grandstands. It's not actually a road that goes over it. They built the grandstands over the track. And through the final set of corners, that's turn 21 and then turn 22, 23, rapid succession here. And there you go, 13th for Matt. A little bit off the pace there, 4 seconds off of, or 3 seconds off of the leader's time. And he's going to want to maybe just improve a tiny bit if he wants a chance at starting in the top 10.
Irish New Potatoes on a hot lap now, looking to just extend that full time. Yeah. And also, forgot to mention the perk to not, he has a, oh, was that on track?
No, I do believe Callis retired in the pits, and then it came out on track accidentally afterwards.
Porta hasn't qualified, so he won't be participating in qualifying today.
Yeah, for readying up early, I believe. And Irish New Potato on the sauce. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do. He's starting on the mediums in P1 right now, so I'm not 100% sure why he'd want to qualify on the softs here. He already has the better tire type and the position advantage.
Maybe he's thinking he could just take softs until the crossover point for the rain and just check out from second place, just have that gap. He sits at 103. I think it was a low 103 for sector 2, so...
That's an interesting point as well. Like you mentioned, the rain is coming. I kind of forgot the rain was coming. And if you're asking me, that kind of throws even more doubt into the strategy of going on the softs. Maybe the rain is coming a lot earlier than we expect. And he thinks he's going to be able to, like you said, drag those soft tires. And he's actually going to dive back into the pits here. So, yeah, opting to stay on the mediums there. Either not happy with his lap time or just knowing that with the rain, it's the smart thing to do. Matt's
his competition around him are all on out laps, so...
Yeah. Matt's starting his lap. Formula Matt is finishing, or starting another one. He's going to go again on the same set of softs, I think. Cruz about to finish his out lap. So let's go on board. I think we're going to ride it with Matt. He's the first one who's going to be crossing the line here on his final set of final quality set, I think. Jordan on the back straight. Jordan is on the back straight. There you go. We're going to ride on board with ISRL. Jordan may remember him as Jordan GT. Had a bit of a name change this weekend to reflect his new role as the Tier 2 manager. And on the track here, not too sure. Yeah, this, I think he might have bailed out here just going for another lap because he's way down on the time.
Yeah.
He's going to make it to the end in time? He is. There you go. Puts it onto a hot lap. We're seeing him accelerate here. I think he's just maybe taking an extra lap to get the heat into those medium compound tires. And away he goes here as Synchro retires from the session. I think that one might have been on track.
Oh, and Chris immediately starts his lap and goes wide on the front straight. Just invalidates immediately.
That's unfortunate for Chris there, as he's not going to get another lap time in. I believe, yeah, Dark is on a lap as well. Who's just crossing the line now? Is this Mats? Yeah, so Mats coming around to the end here is going to go up into 14th. Is that Formula Matt behind him not going to improve his lap time? Behind them again, that's Cruz coming to the end of his lap. And around turn 22 and 23, you got to keep it as wide as possible without going off track. He improves to 4th place, gets past End of the World. Dark is finishing his lap as well, next across the line, and goes first. And that's it, pole position for Dark, provisional pole until everyone else has done their lap times. I think that's End of the World is crossing right now. And End of the World goes 5th, so End of the World and Cruz trading positions, all qualifying here. Ultimately, it's End of the World with the advantage at the end. Urien Visser is getting ready to finish his lap, but no, he's going to dive into the pits. Is that Jordan coming across here? Yeah, Jordan on the medium tires. Can he get himself up into the top 10? And he's going to bail out on his lap at the end there. I think, actually, he improved on his lap time, but just not enough to gain a position. Chris, goes very wide at the end. And then, that's in the racing line. That's a very dead McLaren there, as DMS Gexy goes into the pits. El Biku about to finish his lap. And, don't hit Chris. As that McLaren is parked right across the track. Is Lorenzo going to improve his lap? No, Lorenzo is in the pits. And I think that's the end of qualifying.
Yeah, absolutely. Dark at the end there. Snagging pole from Irish New Potato, who thought he was safe. But again, he will start on the medium, so strategy may pay a part. But
yeah, ultimately, as they're fitted, let's see their best. So ultimately, top 6 starting on the softs, and then we have AJ Wuhan and Synchros 7 and 8th on the mediums, Lorenzo in 9th on the softs, Callis in 10th on the mediums, and after that it's going to be free tire choice. So we're going to see what they choose when the race starts. But Dark is on pole, Irish New Potato in P2, Urien Visser in P3, Vito shares the second row of the grid with him. End of the World in the Renault on the 3rd row, sharing it with Cruz in the Mercedes, AJ Wuhan and Synchros on the 4th row, both on the medium tires in the Williams and the Haas. Lorenzo P9 in his return, and then the Racing Point of Callis rounds out the top 10. And you can see those gaps here. 3/10 clear of second place, Dark.
I'm really excited for this one.
It's
We're gonna light up a lavender incense just to bring down the stress levels.
Yeah, it's gonna be a stressful race. As you're right, you wanna get the stress levels down, the blood pressure down. You want to be able to focus and enjoy the racing. That's not a bad idea. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those. Oh, I do have regular candles though.
It's not bad. Just really settle the tone.
Yeah. There you go. Let's give it a go. Forgot my lighter somewhere.
I'm super excited for this. I love it. Not only do I enjoy racing at Singapore, but I love watching the races at Singapore. Great races The last time we were actually here was season 1. We had the likes of Sophion, future Tier 1 driver, winning the championship in Tier 2.
Yeah, and Tier 2, of course, a lot of these drivers who end up performing very well in Tier 2 get promoted to Tier 1, but Singapore, one of my favorite tracks of all time. It's a little bit of a bias in the fact that the regular race weekend is always the weekend of my birthday, or the week of my birthday, and so it's always been kind of like, oh, F1's giving me a little gift. It turned into one of my favorite tracks, but it's so fun to drive as a racetrack as well. It's just an excellent racetrack. It's a high octane, intense, And just when you're out there, you're racing. You got the walls on either side of you. You got the bright lights of Singapore. You got the skyscrapers in the distance. It's just an awesome circuit to be on. Irish Nude Potato rating up early on that one. So drivers having a little bit of an issue following along there. And hopefully that doesn't cause any strategy troubles with anybody else.
If you guys think that watching an F1 race where the strategy changes due to weather in the middle of a race is a good watch, try a league race around Singapore. This is gonna be good.
Gonna head off on the formation lap here.
Mike was saying in the chat that the last part of the race, it'll start dry, and then the rest of the race at some point will be completely wet. So
yeah, Jordan, 10 minutes of light rain. What are the implications of that? Take us through, I guess, as a driver, what you're thinking when you hear those messages.
That in some instances where it depends on where you are in the race. If you're at the front, you're gonna wait to the absolute last minute until you know that the crossover is coming. Whereas some people down the line towards the back end of the grid might roll the dice and try and jump the gun and go to those inters. And that's where you get the excitement, because you're gonna have guys on different tires, different strategies, and some will have grip, some won't, or no one will on different tires. And it's just, that's what really entices you.
Absolutely, it's that feeling that you might be able to gain just such an advantage without doing much, just by just being on the right tire at the right time. You.
Well, I don't know if you've got it on your screen yet, but the Amazon statistics or the analysis.
Did not get it yet.
Yeah, they said to do a soft medium. They don't know that there's rain.
Yeah, of course, the graphics that we get are assuming that the weather stays the same, because of course, weather's just highly unpredictable, and giving us, I guess, a 2-stop. So if it doesn't rain, or if the rain is just so light that it doesn't actually cause any drivers to go on the inters, we might have some people just try to tough it out on the mediums through the rain, maybe do a medium hard tire strategy, and save themselves a pit stop.
I thought Irish New Potato was starting on the medium, and I'm seeing a soft on his car. Though somewhere along the line he had to. I'm unsure. Of course, all my
getting lined up here. And shit gets started here. Ola Carta seems to have disconnected, so hopefully we can get him back in. And yeah, here we go. Dark, Irish New Potato on the front row. We got 3, 4, 5 lights. And they're off in Singapore, and it seems like a good start from Dark. Irish New Potato with a rough start. He gets overtaken by the Ferrari of Vito almost into the corner, and they're almost going 3 wide there, Vito. And Jira and Viss are going side by side through turns 2 and 3, and through the back it seems like they've gotten through cleanly there, which is a good sign for all the drivers. Sigh of relief as they get down the main straight, and the race is officially underway. Everyone's gotten through okay. I don't see any damage on the back, and now they can start fighting for positions. And Irish Nude Potato there is falling a little bit further back from Dark in after the start, just getting a rough start, a lot of wheel spin on the grid, and almost getting overtaken by Vito. Oh, look at that, Synchro and Callus almost getting together.
No real big movers off the start except for LB, who was up 3 spots. So, they kind of staying where they were.
Absolutely. We're seeing a lot of scrapping going on further down the grid as these guys get compacted together through a mix of dirty air and just a lot of cars being there. Leaders starting to get a bit of a breath of fresh air. Dark and Nude Potato pulling away. And but every gap, nobody has a gap of more than a second to the car ahead. And it's going to be close all the way through the field here. El Biku gets past Formula Matt. And Formula Matt struggling here so far in the Mercedes, getting overtaken, trying to force it around the outside. Is he going to make it? Yeah, they're still side by side. One of them's going to have to give up here, and it's going to be Albiku who's going to slot in behind the Mercedes. End of the world getting very close to AJ Wuhan. AJ Wuhan, a good start despite the medium tires. Irish Nude Potato already picking up his first penalty of the race. That's not a good sign for him. Lorenzo getting past Synchro. And yeah, AJ Wuhan holding off quite a few cars on his medium tires. Getting a bit of a timing screen glitch here, as usual, on turn lap 2 of this game. But good pace so far from the Williams.
Absolutely.
And oh, look at that big move on the AlphaTauri of Urine Visser trying to go around the outside. And AJ Wuhan not able to make it work. He's going to have to try again later. But the pace on the mediums from the Williams is absolutely insane so far in this race. He's gotten those tires right up to temperature very, very quickly. As defensive goes the AlphaTauri. And no chance here for AJ Wuhan. He's going to have to wait until the straight. Hopefully get some slipstream. DRS is not activated yet. And you have to take a better line, better exit through here, but I think it's your investor who gets ahead. And your investor getting close to Cruz here. The tables have turned. It's your investor going to go on the attack. And yeah, he's going to think about it, just diving down the inside, gets a little bit of contact with Cruz. Very lucky not to send the Mercedes into the barrier. You saw a bit of a moment there from the... where's Cruz from again? I think he's from Costa Rica or something. And but yeah, getting a bit of a moment there. Lucky to keep it out of the barriers. And Vito dropping a little bit further back from the leaders. He's going to have to step it up as we see the AWS F1 Insights tire strategy. And yeah, like you said, soft, medium, and then either another set of mediums or a set of hards a little bit early on in the race are the predicted strategies. DRS is enabled. If you're within a second of the car ahead, you can get a reduction in your drag. A little flap opens up in the rear wing, and you get an extra up to 20 kilometers an hour down the straights. You can use it to overtake, but look at the front here. It's Nude Potato, it's Dark, they're side by side down the straight, and who's going to have DRS? We're going to watch on board with Vito. He's right behind them. Look at this prime seats to the battle. Side by side, Nude Potato is going to force Dark to go wide, and Dark's going to slot in behind there. Some elbows out racing from the Red Bull, who has some penalties already. So if Dark can just stay behind him, I think Dark is going to have a good opportunity, because it seems like he's making mistakes already, but some good overtaking so far in this race. This has let Vito catch up to them considerably.
Yeah, Formula Matt retiring in the pits. He's just got enough apparently on lap 3, which I don't know about that, but okay.
I do believe Formula Matt accidentally selected the wrong setup, and yeah, it's still a little bit early in this race, but to retire. But if you're on the wrong setup around this track, it's an absolute nightmare. Especially if you're lacking downforce. And look at this battle here. 3 cars going at it for 5th place, or 4th place rather. It's Cruz, Urine Visser, and AJ Wuhan duking it out side by side through those corners. And that was through 16 and 17. They got very close through 18, 19, 20, 21. They've slotted back together and opting to keep this battle going down the straightaway.
AJ wants by bad.
AJ does want by bad. AJ's on the mediums. He's got more pace than these guys ahead. He knows he has to get by because he's just wasting that tire life, and that's his advantage on the mediums, is that extra couple of laps of competitive pace that they have. And what's the yellow flag here? That's a VSC. We've got a VSC. I think that's La Puerta or yeah, I'm not sure how to say that name, and Bumblebee, who might have gotten together. Bumblebee picks up speeding in the pit lane as he pits to get his Renault fitted with a new front wing.
And Laporte is retired as well.
And Laporte has retired in the pits. This has neutralized the race, but look at the gap Irish Nude Potato has built up to Dark already in such a short period of time.
that battle there for fourth between Cruz, Visser, and AJ Wuhan. Just no one willing to give an inch. It's just,
Yeah. Give an inch, they're going to take a mile. That's been the motto of these guys so far. Not willing to get any of their competitors have an advantage. Yeah?
it was
Go
just
ahead.
clean. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
They've done it cleanly.
Exactly. Keeping it clean, no contact, not even wheel to wheel there. No pumping, no barge boarding. Everyone's been racing very, very nicely so far in Tier 2. I think they saw what happened in Tier 3 and they're being a little bit cautious about it. Your mic is just a little bit quiet
Sorry,
there.
I was just agreeing that. I mean, the Tier 3 race had different conditions, so.
Oh, Dark picks up a penalty. And is Dark going to dive into the pits already? Yes, he is. He's going to go wide by accident there, but he's going to dive back into the pits. And getting off these medium tires already. Does he have front wing damage, maybe? I think he does.
Check.
No. So just a front wing, not a front wing change, just a tire change, putting on some mediums for Dark. Not happy with the pace of the softs.
Yeah, maybe the undercut could work here. The mediums feel really good around here, especially to push on, so might get an undercut on New Potato, but New Potato's pace is really good, so I don't know if that was the right call, especially considering the rain coming. There's so many unknown and variables, so.
Absolutely. Look at this battle here. 4 cars split by less than a second here, maybe just a bit more. Vito, Cruz, Urine Visser, AJ Wuhan all battling for second, third, fourth, and fifth position. And Vito is obviously Dark has pitted, so I think these guys are technically fighting for third at most. But unless that undercut by Dark does not work, they have a solid chance at ending up ahead of him anyways. AJ Wuhan, the only one of these drivers, he's stuck in fifth right now on the medium tire compound.
Yep. I mean, crucially, Dark is out in clean air to just really push, so that's good for him.
Yeah, and Irish New Potato is going to be building up that gap as these guys do get out behind. Vito's doing a good job at being just far enough ahead that he's not involved in this scrap here. And it's going to cost him, or not cost him, but save him some precious tenths in the long run. Is that Vito going to be diving into the pits? I think there's some cars pitting here. Rain coming a little bit later than we thought in the race, as these guys are all going on the mediums. And it looks like the pit window is open for anybody opting to go on the hards as their second tire choice. And Urine Visser, AJ Wuhan now getting a little bit more clean air as they start hunting down Irish New Potato. Yellow flag in Sector 3. Is that Mats? That is Mats, who's had a spin coming out of the last corner.
That's not good.
And that's not good for the hard tires at all. You're right. Coming out of the pits or into traffic is Vito. And Matt's getting ahead of him. Cruz right behind him. So I think Cruz, losing a little bit of time to Vito in the pits. He's 1.5 seconds back now.
Well, they had to try something because no one was making any progress right there from Vito to AJ Wuhan. And AJ Wuhan, you can see he was getting frustrated just being stuck behind the AlphaTauri. Well, he's made the move. I didn't even notice that. Sorry. He made the move on Joran to take P2.
Yeah, AJ Wuhan getting past there as we're looking at the traffic further back. And Urine Visser now, I think he might have made a mistake because now he's under 5 from Callis, 24-10, and Callis being forced to brake early there as Urine Visser just carrying so much speed through that corner. And first a second behind, I think Urine Visser might have an issue here on these soft tires because he's going very slow.
Yeah, they're just, the soft runners are going to start to experience a huge drop-off right now. And this is crucial for all the guys that decided to start on the harder ones. So medium and hard runners are going to have the better. Yeah, see him jumping into the pit now.
Irish New Potato.
Maybe a lap too late.
Yeah, diving into the pits as well. That's going to promote AJ Wuhan, Callis, and Synchros into the net lead of the race because they don't have to pit for a while. They might be able to go until the rain comes down.
Yeah, we got to see where Dark coming around the final corner now.
And Dark handily getting past all of these cars. So staying out on the softs, bad decision.
The undercut works to perfection for him.
Yeah.
He should be able to go to whenever there's rain, so.
Very strong undercut. These medium tires should last about 12 to 15 laps, depending on how hard you wear them and how hard you go at them. And I think it's worked out pretty well in his favor.
Absolutely. If the rain were to come now, it would put someone like AJ Wuhan and Callis, Synchro, and Gexy all in this perfect position to not have made the pit stop and got the track position. If the rain comes now and it's strong enough that you'd have to go to a different tire, they're in a great position to just win on strategy.
Yeah, Jurgen Visser opting to go on the softs again. And as I'm seeing some of these guys like Callis in second place, Jurgen Visser with the odd strategy to go back on the softs. If you're looking down the grid, Dark in 7th, End of the World as a reserve in 12th, even Irish New Potato, who's joined the league rather recently, with 8 races to go after this one, 9 if you count this one in the season. Do any of these guys pose a threat to the guys at the top?
Yeah, a lot of these guys, I mean, it's just like, with Vito's consistency, I'm not really sure, because the gap is just so great to the newer guys, but the newer guys can get up there and fight for 3rd, 4th. But just Vito is just so consistent week in and week out. There's no one closing gaps on him except for people that just don't have a fight to make to him. So he's sitting in a great position, just needs to keep that consistency up, and he will probably, most likely, be the Tier 2 champion for Season 3.
Yeah, and driver I'm sure who's quite happy that Vito is behind him right now is this guy, DMS Gexy. He's trying to catch up to Vito. He's been trying to catch up since the start of the season, but consistency has been his issue, and that's where Vito thrives, like you said, and that's where he's been having some troubles catching up, hasn't he?
Yeah, with that DNF in Silverstone and Vito actually making it to the podium, the second step, it was a huge margin gain there when you come away with no points and the guy that you're fighting is second place. It's the opposite of how Vito's season's gone. Gexy's had like flashes here where he's just like, he's taken a win, some podiums, but then the opposite end of that is huge drop-offs.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going to want to keep that pace going very well. I mean, he's been consistent so far this race. He's going to keep it going to the end, and that is what consistency is all about. And
Yes.
El Biku trying to make a move on Gexy's teammate Jordan, though. He's been close to the Alfa Romeo. I'll let you say it. I'll let you say it.
Don't switch it up now. Don't switch it up. You gotta own it.
I'm racking my brain with this, and it's hurting. It's making it hurt. It's sprinkling my brain. And Albicu trying to make a move on this dark red Italian-based team, getting closer, not getting past him though. He's been stuck at this 6/10 gap for quite a few laps. I guess I don't know if it's a mixture of mistakes or just the dirty air, but Jordan doing what he needs to keep Albicu behind him. Irish New Potato starting to feel a little bit of pressure from Cruz, as Cruz was fighting for 3rd ahead of these pit stops. He's fighting for 10th right now, but he's fighting with the guy who was in 1st, and it's really good for him to actually be that close, because if Irish New Potato can get back to the front of the field and Cruz can stay close to him, then Cruz is going to be doing the same here shortly.
Yeah, also gotta mention the fact that Vito's undercut to stay ahead and keep P3 has actually boosted him into, like, when we all cycle through pit stops, if the rain doesn't come, Vito would be behind Dark in 2nd place.
Yeah, and I think Dark and Vito playing their cards the best so far, other than these guys that actually started on the harder tire compound, who are going to be able to maybe even make it to the rain, if it does come. They're probably playing their cards perfectly here, as he jumps quite a few guys that he was going to have a hard time passing on track.
There are so many situations that would give certain drivers right now the optimal strategy. Because you say, if the rain comes, let's say the rain comes in 5 laps, that's going to help out guys like AJ Wuhan, Callis, Synchro, and Gexy. If the rain doesn't come for another like 10 to 12 laps, look at Jordan on the hards. He can easily make it to that crossover point. If the rain doesn't come
Synchros. Synchros has had an issue coming out of the last corner. And into the barrier he goes. Synchros is out of the race. Is that going to bring out a safety car here? It is raining at the same time, too. Everything's coming together all at once. and no safety car as they're going to clear that car out. But the rain is here, and Synchros, who is in such a good position all race, is going to be out, or third DNF here. First one that was unintentional, I would say.
Absolutely. Unfortunate for Synchro. He was on the strategy that would play into the cards right now. Struggling for grip up there.
Yeah, already the rain is starting to come down rather quickly. I'm on board with AJ Wuhan here as we see him starting to, he's going to have to tiptoe through the circuit a little bit more, not attacking those corners as aggressively as the track has gotten very slippy very quickly, I think.
Absolutely. It's not, I'm not seeing any spray.
Callus is way more confident than AJ Wuhan on this damp surface, and Callus is getting very close to him already.
I'm not seeing spray coming up, so I'm not sure if there's a crossover point yet. It's just one of those where it's damned if you damned if you don't sort of thing.
Yeah, the issue here is that it may very well stay this way for the entire rain period, or it might get worse, and you're gonna have to basically gamble on that because it's hard to tell. Both of them opting to stay out. I think AJ Wuhan starting to. The F1 Insights are telling me it's time for intermediates. Is anybody behind them going to pit? No. Jordan's not going to pit. Albiko's not going to pit. Dark's not going to pit. Nobody else is pitting behind them. So trying to mirror what the leaders are doing right now, because none of these drivers feel as though it's time for inters. To be honest, I got to agree with them here.
These lap times aren't dropping off tremendously, so...
It's going to be quite interesting here as the strategies start to unfold, and this is a pack that's gotten closer and closer and closer together as the laps have gone on, as it seems like Jordan doing a good job. Actually, it might be Gexy, in fact, doing a good job at holding these guys up. An 11-second gap to Callus and AJ Wuhan. That gap was only a couple of seconds when they all got promoted into the podium places. Oh, and here look Dark going down the inside of Jordan. He's going to get the move done before the corner and before the bridge, and that's crucial because now he can set off after Gexy down the straight and leave Vito behind him. Vito was posing such a threat to the lead he's going to inherit. We have a yellow flag in sector 2. Is that Irish Snoot Potato? No, it's not. It's going to be Mats.
Ooh, it's raining a bit harder now. I don't know if you've noticed. It's coming down kind of.
No, I have a helicopter. I've had a helicopter shot here for quite a few corners, and you're right. It is coming down harder. We're starting to see these cars slipping and sliding around. We're going to look at what AJ Wuhan and Callus are doing. They are the leaders. They kind of dictate, I think, what the rest of the pack is going to do. And AJ Wuhan is definitely going to dive into the pits. Callus is going to try his luck at another lap around the circuit.
What does he put on, though? That's the question.
Oh, Mats is out. Is Matt crashed again, or has he retired?
He's crashed.
I think Mats has crashed again there, coming off the bridge. Might have clipped the wall. And we're going to get a VSC. This is going to be huge for AJ Wuhan and everybody else who's pitting behind them. Jordan opting to stay out as he doesn't want to double stack with his teammate. That might be the wrong decision under VSC here, as you would have kind of gained back that. You would still lost some time, but not nearly as much as a regular double stack. Everybody going on the inters.
That was huge for AJ Wuhan.
The VSC stops. Callus is unleashed. He's got a 17-second gap to Jordan, and I'm trying to do the math in my head here. Yeah, I think AJ Wuhan is going to be in the clear.
Yeah, I'm riding on board with Callus. He has no semblance of grip, no braking. Oh
yeah, going wide there. That was a bad decision staying out, I think.
We didn't expect the leaders to gamble, but this one has just not worked out for him.
And you're looking at I'm just looking at AJ Wuhan right now. Look at the confidence he has around the corners here in the inters.
That gap to Jordan down. Almost 5 seconds now.
And then look at Callus for comparison. Oh my goodness, and he's going to actually tag the barrier there. And AJ Wuhan just, the inters are the tire to be on. Everybody who's pitted has made the right decision. I think we can objectively say that here. And it's Yeah, it's a bad decision for Callis. It's one that ultimately is going to cost him the lead, I think, and might actually cost him a podium, depending on how quickly he can get to the pits.
Gexy. Jordan too. He was set to have such a good result, but that pit not pitting under the VSCs costs him so dearly.
Oh, I think Dark might have disconnected there. He's going to need to get another invite to get in. Yeah, Callis diving into the pits here. And I'm going to ride on board with AJ Wuhan. Yeah, it's not even going to be close. AJ Wuhan gets promoted into the lead. And before Callis is even in his pit box, AJ Wuhan has gotten past.
Jordan ducks in, obviously.
Yeah.
Gexy to P2.
Jordan, that's going to cost him. He was running a very good race until then.
Vito chasing Gexy down, so this is what we've had every week.
Oh, who's that in the back? That's Dark. He's losing positions because of his AI car, so Cruz takes that one pretty easily. And Vito goes on the hunt.
15 seconds AJ Wuhan gained by pitting her one lapper. That is incredible.
Callis is lucky to still be in P2, I think, after that strategy call. Jordan as well in 9th, so maybe not as bad as we expected. Maybe AJ Wuhan is just that quick around here.
Yeah, Irish New Potato, who was in the lead, just finds himself now fighting with Vito. Excuse me.
And yeah, Dark has joined in, so unfortunately for him, he's lost the position out of it. Fortunately for him, he's going to be able to mitigate the damage. And look at Irish New Potato just pressing on Vito, and Vito needs to get on with this if he wants any chance to pass a Gexy. And Gexy, meanwhile, is hoping that he can hold off Vito just enough for Irish New Potato to get past.
Meanwhile, AJ Wuhan continues to grow the gap to Callis. This is played perfect. Oh, and I got the glitch. It was at 16 seconds on my screen. And I look back at the stream beside me and see that it's 16 seconds as well. So, what an absolutely perfectly executed strategy. Oh. Never mind. It was nothing. It was a yellow flag and it disappeared.
And yeah, DMS Gexy doing a good job at conserving those gaps. I do have to say, and look how much he's just feeding Vito right into Irish New Potato and Cruz behind him. I almost want to say it's intentional at this point from Gexy to try to get Vito to fall back. But that's a dangerous game to play if you're him, because if Vito gets past you, then you might not be able to get past again, and then you might be the one who falls prey to Irish New Potato and Cruz. Gotta make sure that you have that extra pace that you need when you do that. Oh, yellow flag in Sector 2. Is that End of the World? Is that Bumblebee? That's Bumblebee who's had an off there. At this point, we have enough DNFs that everybody who finishes will receive some points. Bumblebee being the last one here in 14th. Points go down to 15th, of course. And Chris is, I have to say, I expected a little bit more from Chris in this race.
Yeah. He had a great result in Season 1, so...
Yeah,
still plenty of time left. We got over half the race.
Of course. But I expected to see Chris at least fighting in the top 10 here so far. I think he might have just had a bit of a damage on his wing as he almost loses the car again.
What a save.
It's a good save from Chris. And yeah, just maybe struggling a little bit with confidence on this track here.
I can also say from experience, like a rain race around Singapore can be miserable at times. Look at the Gexy is pretty much gonna make it so Cruz is now in this battle.
Yeah, and it's a 4-car battle for third here. We've had this all race. There's been different players in it here and there, but basically the entire race we've had a battle for that final podium spot. At first, Dark was in it, and then Euron Visser was in it, and then now it's DMS, Gexy, Vito, New Potato, and Cruz. But it seems like that third position is the most contested one on the grid.
Ooh, Irish New Potato almost in the back of Vito. You got 4 drivers, but 2 of them are just trying to not fight, just bring it home, stay consistent, while 2 guys at the back are just needing these points.
Yeah.
Someone's going to
Absolutely.
eventually just get impatient and just absolutely, as Ricardo would say, lick the stamp and send it.
Yeah, somebody is gonna attempt a move at some point. It's gonna be interesting to see who it is. Actually, is it Irish New Potato here? He had a good run, can't convert it into anything meaningful, and it's gonna cause him to go just a little bit wide here into turn 5, and that's gonna cost him to Vito. Vito can breathe a sigh of relief here as he tries to get close to Gexy. We haven't seen Vito attempt any move on Gexy so far. I think maybe just being let's open up the telemetry here, see what kind of ERS these guys are working with. Gexy easily cruising ahead. He's got about half a battery. Same with Vito, and actually everyone's been. I don't think any of these guys are pushing all out here. They all
only
four,
using
yeah.
it on the straight there, and the only one that didn't use it on the straight was Gexy, who just said, you know what? He doesn't have anything to worry about. He's got the visibility too. Gexy has a huge advantage. It's overlooked sometimes, but if you're the lead car, you see perfectly, whereas the car behind has that spray, and they have to navigate their braking zone just a tad bit different than the guy in front.
Yeah, big moment from Cruz there, coming out of that hairpin-like corner onto the DRS straight. And with DRS being disabled, I do believe DRS is disabled, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure if we were at that point, like that crossover point yet or not, where the stewards disabled DRS. They have, and so without that DRS advantage, it's very hard to get past somebody on a track like Singapore, because there's not a whole ton of corners where you can try to squeeze it around the outside or carry speed through it. It's very much slow down, 90-degree corner, acceleration zone. And it's I guess a unique characteristic of this track, but it also makes for some hard overtaking in the rain. And we have another incident in Sector 3. I think that's Bumblebee again.
Yeah. No, that's End of the World, actually.
End of the World again. Okay. So both Renaults struggling so far this race.
Doesn't look like he has any damage, so...
Ooh, Irish New Potato with a big moment as he tries to make another move on Vito. That seems to be his favorite place to try it there, coming out of turn 3. And he always gets a better exit, but not able to convert it into better acceleration through that straight bit and close to Vito by the time it's time for an overtake. So just kind of relaxing in the back there, and you know, just trying to time it a little bit better, I think. Woods Blau says Kyle is actually catching up quite a bit.
Saying, and that gap's actually come down about 3 seconds in the last couple of laps.
It has indeed, yeah, it has, and it is coming down significantly. I don't know if it's coming down fast enough that he's going to be able to make a move. Oh, look at that! Irish Potatoes around as he squeezes Cruz into the wall there. They're both going to lose a lot of time. That takes them out of the battle with Vito and Gexy, and that puts them into a battle with Dark, I think, as Cruz going deep in the corner, and Irish New Potato with the late apex collects the front wing of Cruz. No damage on either car, I'm pretty sure. So both of them getting away with that one, more or less. They lost some time, but I think they're going to gain it back as they were kind of stuck behind them going faster anyways.
We're going to have a 5-car battle here for the final podium position. This would be great.
This has been, yeah, indeed. Everyone else on the track seemingly pretty spread out there. This is where all the action is. Cal is taking taking a penalty. So he is catching up that gap. Yeah, it's down to 10 seconds now. But he's taking a penalty at the same time, so essentially stretching it out to about 13. He's going to want to stay clean. Even if he gets that gap closed up, it's for nothing if he takes a bunch of penalties on the way.
I don't think AJ Wu right now doesn't have anything so far. So look at Irish New Potato already right back on the train again. Cruz a little far behind. Do either of them have damage from that incident?
No damage. Wow. It was just a little bit of like front right wheel to rear left wheel contact, and Jordan risking it. And yeah, we're talking about a dry. And Gexy goes very deep on that corner. That's going to let Vito and Irish New Potato close up a ton. And as he keeps going deep, I think the grip in these intermediates is starting to fade. And Vito is going to have a decent shot here in the coming couple of corners if he can just stay close to the Alfa Romeo. And look at that, Irish Sweet Potato all over the rear there. We see them squirming across track, left to right, tight corners through the Anderson Bridge. And Irish Sweet Potato is going to try to get a better exit there. Not able to do it, but look at Vito very close to Gexy. He's going to try to maybe a little bit of a switchback. We're seeing Irish Sweet Potato thinking about it on the inside, and a 5-car battle still. Gexy doing a great job holding everybody behind. Oh, Vito gets in the back of them as Gexy slowing down a little bit too much there. Sweetcrown asking, does AJ have damage? No, he does not. Oh, and we have a safety car. We have a safety car here out of nowhere, and this is it stopped raining, so everyone should dive into the pits here for their soft tire, not the soft, but the mediums. Yeah, there goes Gexy. Vito's going to stay out, and we saw this backfire in the other race. Or even just earlier this race. Not sure how I feel about that with Vito. Or everyone's going to have a delta for the entire lap, so I think it's not going to matter too much. So maybe a good call from Vito here.
Cruise to the hards, Gexy to the mediums.
Yeah, so Gexy on the medium tires, Cruz on the hards. Yeah, so apologies for that. The safety car not picking up the leader here, which means everyone's going to operate on a delta, which means Vito can get around. And ooh, look at that big wheel spin from Gexy coming out of the pits. But yeah, Vito's going to be able to get around the track on the same delta as Gexy, so essentially just neutralizing it. As long as he pits, I think on this lap, I think all harm has been avoided. Yeah,
this is stopped completely.
Yeah, it has. It stopped right when the safety car came out, and there's still a fair amount of spray, but I think not enough to really affect. In fact, it might just be like, yeah, this is definitely the crossover point. Of course, it's not raining anymore, so it was going to be the crossover point sooner rather than later. But I think we've reached it here. Is AJ Wuhan trying to stay under Delta there? And turning into the pits, Jordan's actually pitting again. What's happened?
Can't see his wing. See if the team is prepared with a new one.
AJ Wuhan diving into the pits. Is Callis going to follow? Yeah, Callis is going to follow, and then...
So, a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car.
That is rough for Lorenzo and his return.
Yep. Jordan replaced the wing. He had some damage. And he got another one. Oh, boy.
Lorenzo's race, yeah, hopefully that's just a glitch showing us 2 notifications. He doesn't actually have two drive-thrus, because that would suck.
Experience, he now has 3. He's not slowing down at all.
Yeah, so not sure what Lorenzo's doing out there. Getting a drive-thru after drive-thru. He's gonna basically throwing away his race there.
Lorenzo's been disqualified.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's just getting annoyed at those first 2 drive-thrus and maybe just opting to take the easy way out.
Oh, Vito got a 5-second penalty for crossing the pit line exit. Oh no!
And the stewards being very harsh on these drivers today.
Jeez Louise. Gotta be kicking himself there. Not a Vito thing to do.
And this means he must have crossed the white line after his first pit stop as well, because you don't normally pick up a penalty for that unless you've done it before.
G-Crown saying that's a big mistake for Vito, and it is. It's huge.
Yeah, that's gonna come back because he's gonna have that penalty at the end of the race.
Or he has to make another pit stop. Fortunate for Lorenzo too. 13 runners.
You're right. 13 runners left. We're under safety car here. First safety car of the event. lap 19 out of 31. While, we're taking it slow here. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's watching right now. Got about 11 viewers. And thank you to everybody who's dropping some comments watching this race. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel if you are not already. Make sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we're back every Sunday almost. There's no races next weekend. We're actually taking a break week next weekend. Give everybody a little bit of a break there. We've had about 7 races in a row. And season's dragging on. We're past the halfway point. And break week next weekend. We're back every weekend after that until the end of, or the early December, or the end of November, I think. Yeah, so we're back on October the 18th with the Hungarian Grand Prix. And then it's Australia, Belgium, Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Italy. November 29th, American Thanksgiving. We are having another break week, and then we're finishing off with Japan, Brazil. So a little bit of a break, and then some two excellent classic tracks right at the end there, just to tie off the season right. And everybody gets that weekend off before, where they can practice those 2 tracks, be in the best possible race mindset that they can be ready. And we're going to be basically tying out the season right before the end of 2020, and kicking off season 4 sometime in January or February. That's not confirmed yet, but basically just stay tuned if you want some more racing, because we got the season to finish. We got tier 1 racing right after this in about an hour or 50 minutes from now, and it's 9 races to go if you count this one, 8 after today for all the tiers, and round 10 out of 18. Championships are starting to have their clear favorites. And the championship races are starting to find their final, I guess, narrative. As in this one, it's Gexy trying to chase down Vito. Right now, they're 3rd and 4th, and Gexy needs to close up that gap if he wants a chance at passing Vito. Looking at the standings right now, 252. Vito in first. Yeah, Gexy 197 in second. You get 40 points for a win here. So if at any point between now and the end of the season, Vito DNFs and Gexy picks up the win, then we're looking at a gap of less than 10 points between these 2 drivers, or a bit more than 10 points maybe. My math might be off here. So the championship is very much open for the taking. Even Nathan, who's not here today, he's missed today's race due to other commitments, but he joined in a little bit late, missed a race or 2, and already he's up into 3rd with 152 points. So he needs much stronger results than Vito over the course of the end of the season, but very much into playing for the championship.
It's dark. And Cruz came together. Cruz has to pit because he has an end plate missing on that Mercedes.
And that is not good news for Cruz. Cruz is actually in 4th in the championship. ISRL Chris, who's had a tough race today, finds himself in 11th, pitting again. He's down into 5th in the championship after leading it through the first two events. And Chris, 117 points. He's under pressure from AJ Wuhan, who's having a great race today. So it's very likely that Chris drops down into 6th. And after that is Jordan with 97. So as of right now, Gexy's looking to close up that gap slightly, make it maybe less than 50 points. And it all depends on if he can get past Callis, if he can get close to AJ Wuhan on the restart.
Yeah, we got to see what these. We saw the pace of Atlas and AJ Wuhan in the wet conditions, but the dry conditions where we saw guys like Dark and Irish New Potato really flourish. So the way they sit now might not be the way they finish. It's crucial Vito has that 5-second too, because I don't think anybody else is going to make a pit stop. So when that comes at the end of the race, that could be more positions lost in Gexy for Vito.
Yeah, absolutely. I do believe that the safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap. And AJ Wuhan's going to start backing up the field. When it does, we should get the notification shortly, if it is. But yeah, AJ should be closing up packing up the field shortly. There you go. Safety car in this lap. And we're going to have 10 laps of action here in Singapore coming up. These drivers, look at that, AJ backing up the field. These drivers are going to get ready to go again. And if everything goes well, this will be the last restart of this race. We have a VSC, we've had a safety car, and we have 10 laps to go. And doing a good job at backing up the field is AJ Wuhan. Letting that safety car go, it's going to give him basically a more freedom of when he chooses to go and when he can try to catch his opponent by surprise. Where is he going to go, do you think?
I would go right at the end of this.
Yeah, I would also pick just on the exit of this corner right here, right? Like, is that where he's? Yeah, it's exactly where he's going to choose to go. And off to the races goes the Williams of AJ Wuhan. Callis doing a good job keeping up, but not as good as Gexy. Gexy really getting the jump there on the racing point of Callis. Vito staying close behind him as well. Look at that defending from Gexy. Vito's going to try to go and have a look around the outside, but he's not close enough to make it happen. And as everybody gets started again, we're seeing Callis and AJ Wuhan already. Oh no, what's happened there to Dark? Dark has spun around. I was just saying Callis is getting a good start. And his teammate is as well, but Dark just losing it there in turn 3. That's going to send him all the way down the order into 12th. And Vito falling a little bit further back from Gexy here. Irish New Potato is looking like he wants a piece of that Ferrari. Cruz getting past end of the world there, further down the grid. ISRL Jordan as well fighting with Chris right behind him. You kind of saw a glimpse of that. Urin Visser, who had a great start to the race. He's down into 7th for the AlphaTauri team. And looking to close up the gap to Elbiku, who I have to say, race of the season for him right now. We've not seen Elbiku be that good this season. He's looking for a hefty point boost. Only at 95 points right now. He might actually break the 100. What if he finishes, let's say 5th? Yeah, he's going to break the 110 point barrier. So solid boost to his performance or his championship standings if he can keep this up to the end. At the front, though, look at that. Gexy, Vito, look how close they are. Irish Potato, nothing can get between them. And Gexy has been on the defense all race, and he's going to have to keep doing that for a couple more laps here because Vito's not giving up.
He's picked up a 3-second time penalty for his troubles.
Yeah, and look at Callis getting ahead, and this is bad for Vito because if he cannot get past Gexy, he cannot get close to Callis, and Callis is just already cruising in front, 2.6 second gap to 3rd place, but he is falling back from AJ Wuhan, and at this point AJ Wuhan is just looking like the fastest driver this weekend.
I just think the only reason he is the fastest driver right now is because yes.
It is possible that guys like Vito, and I think Vito's going to have a move here. Yeah, down the inside. Is this finally it? Wheel to wheel, almost touching. Getting forced off track is Gexy, but Gexy's going to fight back, and Vito is going to be forced to go behind him. And look at that in the back. That's Elbiku having a big moment. He's going to get knocked down into 7th place behind Urin Visser and Cruz. Oh no. Elbiku hitting the wall there. Cruz getting past him as well.
He has all his end bits, so he's fine.
Yeah, no time to breathe though because Vito is super close to Gexy again. And down the straight here, to get a better acceleration. I think he does. I don't think he's close enough to make a move. We're going to see maybe a dive bomb. No, thinks better of it. Both of them just trying to keep their races together. Like you said, though, Vito is not one to make those moves. He's going to wait for the perfect opportunity, and he's going to make it stick, and he's only going to have to do it once.
Gexy's going to be sitting duck here once they get to the DRS zone.
Absolutely. Once the DRS is open, I think that's it for Gexy there. Unless he's been saving up his ERS, which he hasn't been. Vito has more ERS, so does Irish New Potato. They're stuck behind him. Gexy's just losing pace here. Oh, and that's Bumblebee losing it again in Sector 3. Not having a great race so far, I think.
That's the one you'll want to forget.
Yeah, Vito. Is DRS enabled this lap or is it next lap? I missed the notification. They're good to go. Yeah, there you go. We see the DRS getting ready to open for Vito, and open it goes. Bumblebee's going to retire in the pits. leaving us with 12 drivers to go. And Vito is going to try again. Number 2, is it going to work this time? Again, Gexy goes wide. Is he going to try to force the issue? No, Nude Potato's going to get past him. This is disastrous for Gexy, as now he's under attack from Cruz. Irish Nude Potato goes a little bit wide there. That's going to give a little bit of breathing room for Vito, as Vito now starts to hunt down Callus with a 6-second gap and only 7 laps to go. I think it's too little, too late. Vito's going to have to settle for 3rd if he can keep it together, but Irish Nude Potato is not ready to let him get away. Oh, is that Elbiku? Elbiku is at an accident.
Oh, yeah, he's off there. But Cruz looking for a podium because he has the best tires for this situation right now. And Gexy holding up all those guys. Cruz just has to clear Gexy if he wants to have a shot at the podium.
Absolutely.
He needs to get by.
And Cruz, yeah, he's on the softs. He's on the. I don't think it should be an issue as soon as he gets DRS, because he has so much more grip, and he might be able to make it to the end. But the problem with Cruz is that he's going to be struggling for grip in these final laps. So even if he gets ahead, he's going to have some defending to do. Look at that, defending in the back there. We see DMS and Cruz. Cruz is going to go around the outside. Oh my goodness, what an ambitious move from Cruz, and he makes it work. Cruz around the outside. Now look at this. Urine Visser fighting with Gexy. Gexy is just dropping down the grid. These medium tires are not working out for him. And down into 7th from 3rd he goes in just a lap and a half.
That's huge for Vito.
Yeah, that is huge for Vito. That is terrible for Gexy.
See what Cruz can do now. He's gotta push like hell to get to the potato.
In the back there, Dark getting past LB because LB pits for some repairs. Irish Nude Potato still trying his best to get close to Vito, but this is the battle that we're seeing right now between Cruz, Urine Visser, and DMS Gexy for 5th place. And the AlphaTauri is looking strong, but I think Cruz is going to get away here because he has the soft tires.
Hasn't really pulled away yet.
Not yet. And you know what? Looking at it right now, maybe he's not going to pull away because Urine Visser's not using any overtake.
Maybe he's used them up already. He's only been almost 2-3 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the stops there, yeah, Cruz 4 stops. Everybody seems to be on a 3-ish stop. We got a couple of 2 stops there. DMS Gexy on a 2 stop. So it's weird that these tires aren't working for him. Maybe he just worn them out too much during that raining period.
He was doing a lot of defending too.
He was, absolutely. And Irish Nude Potato with DRS. We see him in front there with Gexy. Not close enough to take a move there. Is Urine Visser going to be close enough? He's going to think about it. Going to get squeezed a little bit wide. Trying to work it around the outside. Both drivers having to go deep there, as they're both just trying to carry so much speed through the corners. And Irish Nude Potato and Cruz, in the end, it's Cruz lives to see another day. But that gap to Irish Nude Potato was closing. He actually takes a penalty just there. Now, Irish Nude Potato was closing. They're fighting now, and it's going back up.
Yeah, end of the world now on the back of Gexy. So Gexy just the worst possible situation for him, as he's just sailing to the back of the grid.
And yeah, Urine Visser's gonna have to try again because apologies, I've just noticed that a certain driver is now trying to troll our Facebook page, so just gonna quickly I don't think we have to specify who, but
I think I got an idea.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll deal with that later. All right. Back to back to the race at hand. We're getting to the closing laps here. During get past end of the world there. The end of the world has a bit of an issue. Let's Chris pass as well. Big moment from Chris there. They're going to keep fighting these two.
I think he's missing an end plate there on the left side. Friend of the world.
He may just well be. Both of them getting closer to Jordan ahead. And is End of the World? No, End of the World seems to be okay. Oh, almost getting squeezed there as Chris not expecting the move around the outside. End of the World doing a good job hanging around the inside. Chris with the switchback, not going to work as End of the World just has better traction there. And away he goes. Irish New Potatoes just not able to get past Vito, is he? Oh, Callis getting very close to AJ Wuhan. I didn't even notice that. Look at that.
Yeah.
AJ Wuhan is having some issues here. Because, yeah, Callis is getting so much closer to him. And we might very well have a battle on hand here.
Well, they both have the same amount of VRS saves, so... Now, Callis and AJ Wuhan start fighting. Vito and Irish New Potato might catch up.
Stay on board with this battle here of the Racing Point and the Williams. No move there. So Callis just he's close. He got a lot closer. Not able to make a move because I guess AJ Wuhan is just that good today.
What a great race from him. Take a look at that position change. Take a look at Callis and AJ Wuhan. AJ Wuhan up 6 spots and Callis up 8. Dark down 10 though, so...
And Irish New Potatoes, well, it seems like the dirty air is just affecting these drivers too much to be able to stick through those corners and make a move onto the straights. Irish New Potato takes a penalty. That's going to be crucial to Vito, who, remember, has that 5 seconds.
Yep, and so far, if that's the case, Vito hasn't taken any other one, so Irish New Potato has 6 seconds, so Vito might be good here.
He might just well survive. And yeah, and same thing with AJ Wuhan there. Both under fire, but both doing a good job. And we saw the same kind of thing with Gexy being able to defend for so long, despite, I guess, the pace difference. As we can see, he's just fallen dramatically back from these guys already in the few laps since he's been passed. So we mentioned it during qualifying. It's come true during the race, but track position is huge on this circuit.
Absolutely. Pretty much just sitting there waiting for the driver in front to just make a crucial mistake, and you got to capitalize on it. It can be frustrating just sitting there, just knowing that you have a pace advantage in the car in front of you, and you just can't do anything about it.
Absolutely. Right now, it's just Irish New Potato who's got the closest gap on the circuit, as he's just still trying to close to Vito, and yeah, not
Morgan in the
very
background,
close there.
Slowly gaining on these guys as well.
Yeah, within the DRS range now. It might be interesting to see what your investor can bring to this battle. 2 laps left once they cross the line.
It's his debut, so you know he wants to just have a good result.
I think he'd be pretty pleased with 5th, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I think he's got more in him. 2 laps remaining, so... Irish New Potato goes very deep, and it's over the door! Door shut.
Door shut, indeed.
Oh, 9 seconds for Irish New Potato.
And I think that might actually come and cost them the position to your investor as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
On that note, though, yeah, it's
Chris
been
is
an interesting
retired.
race, hasn't it?
Oh, Chris is retired into the wall.
Chris, was that an instant at turn one? What kind of
Yeah.
instant? Yeah. Just, so we're gonna finish with not a lot of drivers on track right now. Um, AJ Wuhan first, Callis second, Vito third, Newt Potato fourth, Urine Visser fifth. Maybe not though, as he tries the move. Oh, there's some
Interventions.
contact there. Very lucky that nobody went into the wall, and that doesn't seem to be any damage. And Cruz in sixth, DMS Gexy after a solid, stellar defending job earlier this race in seventh, and then End of the World ninth, Jordan 10th, Jordan 9th, Dark 10th, and El Biku is going to end up ultimately finishing 11th, I think.
You like to see it from Jordan, just really showing that you're not willing to sit behind this. You're willing to make. Look how close he is, Sour Stew Potato.
Urine knows, I think Urine knows that he's going to get past him on penalties, but still giving it everything, getting so close there. You saw the inboard camera shot there. It just looked like that, the Red Bull's rear wing just shooting up. Oh, big moment from Irish Nude Potato there. Whew. That was tough. You're invested, not able to capitalize on it though, as he's run out of ERS. And I think Irish Nude Potato might hold on track till at least the next ERS zone. Vito must be loving this, seeing these two guys going at it in his rear view, because this is just letting him kind of cruise as he's known for doing, and get that solid result without having to risk too much. Callis is going to be giving it one more go on AJ Wuhan. Is he going to be able to do it? Not able to get in that slipstream quick enough.
His first two races. There's nothing there. Like I say,
nothing there.
Good job,
Yeah.
AJ Wuhan. Stellar drive.
And AJ Wuhan, I think, unless something dramatic happens in these final couple corners or penalties send him backwards, going to come across and finish in first place on track. And is he going to do it? Is AJ Wuhan going to win? AJ Wuhan does. AJ Wuhan wins the Singapore Grand Prix for Tier 3. And is Callis coming home in second place with the lap car of El Biku there, who just gets past Chris at the end. Vito is going to cross in third. Urine Visser gets fourth place after Nude Potato gets demoted on penalties. Cruz is coming around the end right now. See the fireworks up in the sky lighting up the bay. And Cruz is going to stay sixth unless Gexy can. Ooh, Gexy, big moment there. Actually, he's going to get past Cruz. End of the World finishes right behind Cruz. So Gexy in sixth, Cruz in seventh, End of the World in eighth, Jordan in ninth, and Dark is going to cross the line in 10th. Only 11 finishers out of 18 tonight. And that's it for your Tier 2 ISRL Singapore Grand Prix. Round 10 is over. And that was quite the exciting race.
Gexy driver of the day.
Chris saying that he got a puncture on the straight. And that would explain his incident there.
Let's see if we can. What time is it? Go.
And as we see the podium there, Williams, Racing Point, Ferrari, all on top. And it's been a good showing from these guys. Some interesting overtakes, some great racing, some dramatic weather changes. Saw a bit of it all, and ultimately AJ Wuhan goes from 7th to 1st, Callis 10th to 2nd, Vito 4th to 3rd, and Vito and Visser just basically changing positions there through the race. Irish Potato drops to 5th from where he started, Gexy up to 6th from 13th, Cruz, End of the World, Jordan Dark, El Biku, Chris, Bumblebee, Lorenzo, Mats, Synchro, Puerta and Formula Matt. From Chris all the way to so 12th to 18th DNF'd, and that just shows the attrition that you get around here on Singapore.
Yep. What do we have? What was it? 18 we started.
And yeah, 18. So, anyways, I think we're gonna skip the interviews there just because we got to get tier 1 set up, and I really need some food. I haven't eaten all day because I wasn't supposed to commentate this, and ended up doing it. Actually, we have AJ Wuhan in here, so we'll get him done quickly, and I'll let Billy take over the interview so I can go get some quesadillas ready or something, and
Got it.
and take it away, Billy. And take your time because I gotta grate the cheese.
All right, AJ. That was a fantastic strategy call.
Thank you.
No. And you finished it off too. Is these guys in the back? There's super close there at the end between you and Callis. Though Callis was catching you, but we saw throughout the race that once you were behind somebody, it was so hard unless you just absolutely sent it. Just not enough from you, Callis. That's P2 twice in a week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great drive.
Shame.
Yeah, but you know, it's a great race. It's huge points for you and the team. So.
Yeah.
But AJ, look, the kids.
All right, well, I won't let you guys hanging. But basically, yeah, Callis, you're getting close to AJ there at the end. AJ doing a good job holding you off. Was it AJ managing? Were you just managing, or was he actually catching up to you? And if so, like, did it scare you?
Was that a question for me?
Yeah, question for AJ, and then I want Callis's point of view on it as well.
Yeah, so I noticed that in the wet he had a lot more pace than me, and I was just hoping that when the dry came, I timed it right. Because if I didn't, then I wouldn't have had a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you very nearly did, to be fair.
Yeah, like the safety car, the VSC like properly niced me when I came into the pits, because as soon as I went in to go onto the inters, the VSC came out, and then as soon as I came out, it ended. So I was like, oh, no way. No chances of happening. But yeah, his pace was definitely there, and I think I experienced early in the race that it's really, really difficult to get past people on this track, especially in the dirt,
100%.
And I was really worried about Callis, but he put up a good fight, but I was happy to keep him behind me.
Yeah, great race. And can we get the other side of the medal on this one?
Yeah.
How'd you feel about? Were you happy with the pace you had catching up to him? Did you feel like maybe there's a little bit more you could have done?
I messed up when the safety car went out.
Mm-hmm.
I went for another lap and I lost like 15 seconds, and that was race over.
Yeah, you almost caught up to him at the end. I guess the dirty air on the Singapore just not doing you any favors.
You saw I was always in 1 second, but nothing else I can do.
Absolutely, but yeah, great race from the both of you. Because I left my controller in the kitchen. Great race from the both of you guys. Congratulations on the podiums. Some great championships points. Of course, for you both joined a little bit late in the season, so I think every point is more valuable than the last there. And hopefully we can see some battling on that, like that on track. Next time we're out, of course we're off next weekend, and we're back in Hungary in 2 weeks. So thank you to everybody who tuned into the stream. Thank you to all the drivers who participated. Congratulations again to you guys on the podium.
Thanks for commentating.
And just that was a great race, guys. Just that's all I can say. That was very fun to watch. And hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day. We are back in 20 minutes with some tier 1 action. So hopefully everyone who's in this stream is either going to be on track there or watching it as well. And awesome. I'm ISRL Knight. Thank you for tuning in.